Oh my god, we are back. The Jedi Council, Jedi Academy is back. I am Ranger J 1999 from RSG, and folks, we are back with the Jedi Academy after a few weeks hiatus, trying to get everything organized and get everything set up. But we are here, we are ready to rock and roll, and we've got the cast you know and love, and we're going to go around and make sure if you this is your first time here, welcome. And if this is you're a long time viewer, we appreciate it. We are running Jedi Academy on the RSG streams. So, with that being said, we are glad to be back. We're here to answer your questions and your answers about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So, with that, let's rock and roll and let's introduce the panel, the Jedi Academy per se. First of all, I want to introduce Finn for you guys that never heard him before. He is our troll extraordinaire, Dr. Finn Medicine Woman. He will be monitoring the chat. If you think you control, guess again. He control better, and he will get you. But get your questions there, and he will get those in. But first, let's introduce the main man, my brother from another mother, Ti, Warrior from Warrior Presents channel. So, Warrior, what's up, brother?
Not much, man. Hey, I'm your brother from an ugly mother.
I know. Well, we don't talk about it. You know. I mean,
What's happening? I'm
uh,
excited to be here this
I
morning.
know we all are excited to be rocking and rolling, getting back on. Also joining us is the Brit with the mouth, Mr. Mike Hunt. What's going on, buddy?
Good morning, guys. Yeah, I'm so pleased to have Academy back up and running. Yeah, been having fun. There's been lots going on whilst we've been off air, hasn't there? We've got
Yes. Oh, yeah, a little bit.
R2 and loads of stuff to chat about. Yeah, I'm excited. Looking
A-
forward to today.
Absolutely. And then also joining us, who's also joins us weekly on our RSG Wednesday stream and other places, Mr. the lightsaber builder himself, Mr. Sir Loki. What's going on, Mr. Sir Loki?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, Ranger. Thank you
That's
for having me on, and super excited to be back
yeah.
on Jedi Academy.
Yeah, nobody cares about that. I want to know where we're at with my lightsaber. Is it built? Is it red? Is it powerful? I mean, what's the timeline here, bud?
I think you'll like it, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
If I get a paper cutout, I'm going to be very, very angry. And then I'm going to write you a letter telling you how angry I am. I'm just saying. So, but you can see, first acknowledgement is to Finn, who did an amazing job with the panel. We put this together, both of us. He's been working on it, I've been working on it. You can kind of see everybody's logo up there as members representing the Jedi Academy. Um, right now, Bella should be on. I don't know where she's at, but she should be here as in
I
Remon.
think I think she just popped in right now.
Did she really? Is she there, Bella?
Hi.
Well, look who it is, the Dark Lady of the Sith herself, Miss Bella. What's going on, Miss Bella?
Well, I'm just on the road and I got really tired, so I thought it's a good idea to say hello to you guys.
Well, that's why God invented coffee. Go drink some. To get the
Yeah,
caffeine in.
I'm at the McDonald's just now having
That's
coffee.
right. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. See, fans, she's dedicated. She went to McDonald's to get some coffee so she could be up and ready to go for the stream. We're glad to have you back, Miss Bell. It's been a couple weeks. Are you excited to get this going again?
Yeah, yes, I am. I am.
Yes, indeed. And then, of course, Smithy will not be on today. His schedule's still kind of conflicting. One of the reasons why we took this over. And, of course, Remon, I don't know if he'll be on. He might pop in. But we definitely will get Remon in here and introduce him. So, we are going to get into the QA question. As soon as we start getting them popping here, let me start looking because
Before we start, I have to
Yes!
say a big, big, big thank you to Finity for helping me with this awesome, awesome gift he made for me.
Yes, he
I
is.
just had the ideas, and he sat down and did an excellent job. I mean, I'm really very happy.
Well, you say that now, but he's a beast unleashed. So, for those who don't know, Finity is a crazy man. He if you give him a project or an idea, he will run with it like you would not believe. I've learned this the hard way. He does this to me all the time. Especially when me and Grande, when he comes out, like, he's like, hey, I just took a shower. We flee for the hills because we know like about 9,000 ideas are about to come our way. So, yeah. But yeah, he did a wonderful job. He's an amazing creative kind of guy. So big kudos to Finadoodle for making this happen, and he will be getting your questions. So let's kind of, before we start getting the questions, I'm sure Finn's putting them together right now. This week we had the huge bug update fix. Um, Now, look, I already know we talked about this on Wednesday. I'd like to throw this out to the rest of the panel, and that is, out of looking through all the bugs, was there anything that they fixed or changed that really stood out to you that I don't think will be any kind of game impacting change to the game? And we will start with you, Mr. Warrior.
Well, I think everybody knows the Darth Vader thing. You're not going to earn any friends by saying they need to fix it. But I think that, of course, now after 6 months, they do want to get it working as intended. They wanted a 20%, 50% of the time, 20% turn meter knots. Not 100% turn meter in Phase 4. There's birds.
Yeah,
You get it?
that's not me. Who's got the birds in the background? Look, are
I
you
mean,
out in
it's
nature?
Oh,
really,
that's me. That's me.
it's really stuff.
Your
I'm like,
McDonald's
damn, those
has
birds are nice.
birds.
Yes, it's in the
I'm like,
nature.
see, I think it's like what we were talking about before the stream. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, it was coming. We all kind of knew it was coming. But so this is my take on it. Fine, whatever, fix it. But I do have an issue with them not giving back the Zeta, and this is why. 6 months, bro. 6 months. And how many people play this game? Millions. And how many people are in the forums? Only thousands. You're
Mm,
talking about vast majority of people who play this game, 99% probably, who play this game who are oblivious. They play it, they quit, whatever, but they play it. And these people, some of them play it for 4 months or 6 months or 8 months, but a lot of them never actually decide to plug in to YouTube channels or to anything.
right.
And they see this ability. They hear in their guild, for example, good two people, my brother and my best friend Jared Ricks. Jared actually got me into this game. He convinced me, that bastard, to play this game and got me into it. And he invested into Darth Vader. That was his first Zeta ability. And then he did Cody. If he doesn't know anything, he's oblivious to what's going on in the YouTube world or on the forums or any of that. He just plays it on the side. He's going to be a doctor, right? So he doesn't have time for the forum trolling and all that. They're now going to basically, in his eyes, where now he's invested in that for a reason, and he was able to get through the guild raid because of that. And now all of a sudden he's going to play it one of these days, and it's not going to work as like it did, and he's going to be really upset. And he invested for that reason. So for him and for everybody else who doesn't know this is happening, or maybe didn't know when they need to give us the chance to make that decision again. Give us our 20 Zetas back. Let us re-put it on Vader if we still want it on him. And if we don't, we could then move on like they did Barriss. And this is why Barriss wasn't working as intended either. And when they fixed that, they took a few months to fix her. And they finally gave us our Zetas back. And I put my Zetas back on Barriss. That's how confident I was in Barriss. But, that for them not to do that is it's frustrating, I guess, for the group of people who play.
Anybody else have an opinion on that, or an opposite opinion of what Warrior said on the panel? No. Well, fine.
Well,
I'll play devil's advocate then. So, do you think that the reason they didn't give it back was because it was a bug? They did put out that it was supposed that they were working on it, although only recently. That it still didn't change many aspects like PvP and things of that nature. People were using that mainly for, Vader and the raids and stuff for the turn meter manipulation, where people could be auto on the Rancor.
It to me it doesn't matter because it's not working as intended. It's deemed as a bug. Barriss having a unique ability last like a leadership ability was a bug.
Right.
I don't care what you want to call it. It's a bug. A bug's a bug. It's not working as intended. It's either WAI or not. It's either working as intended or not. And they gave us Barasafi's Zeta back to make that decision again, and they didn't with Vader. And I just feel like, listen, if you acknowledge a problem in the game, but then you wait 2 to 6 months to fix it, and you allow the vast general majority of the population to go ahead and continue to do something with the motivation that they know that this, and that's why they're putting the Zetas on that character so they can do X, but you don't send an in-game message. Had they sent a message 6 months ago saying don't Zeta Darth Vader unless you are aware that it's bugged and we're going to be fixing it, then they wouldn't have to return it. But it's like buying a product you believe is a product that does, X, Y, or Z, and then you get the product and it doesn't do what is what you believed it to do. So there's no difference in my eyes between it. They acknowledged both issues and they returned it on her, but I don't think that they really want to return Zetas on anybody ever because people get majority. It's a huge job for them to do that, and it was probably a nightmare with Barris, and so I think they just are trying to get by with it. But I think the general populace should rise up in the forums and kind of be loud about it, not to be a jerk or anything. Just I think there's a lot of people who would change their mind. Now, I still tell people, the very first Zeta you should do is Darth Vader. Even now, even after his bug gets fixed,
Yeah.
I think he's the best first. I think he's the best first character. He's just a staple. He's the only character that guaranteed 100% of everybody's going to get, whether you like it or not, in the game. Other than Clone Sergeant, Chewie, and Jedi Consular. He's the one guy they're going to force feed through achievements automatically. So.
Yep, absolutely. Mike,
You know
Bella.
what? I'm
Yeah,
at
go ahead, Bella.
100. I'm at 100 setters now.
Why? What, Miss
So
Bella? Are you hoarding? Are you a hoarder?
yeah, just setters.
She
So I
just
can
like.
think now which one to setter. Maybe I go for Darth Vader, but I'm thinking about R2D2 actually.
Well, you could probably do both and still have 60 Zetas left over.
Yeah.
See, that's the good thing. So why not do both? As a motorcycle, you got birds, motorcycles, you got all kinds of. What kind of McDonald's are you at?
Sorry about that.
It's cool. It's like I don't get that at my McDonald's. Jeez. But we'll go. Miss Bell, were there anything in the bug fixes that stood out to you or anything like that?
I didn't get the first bit.
The Zeta, or not the Zeta, but the bug fixes that
Yes.
they did this week. Was there anything that stood out to you, or anything that you saw that kind of you thought maybe would have a big impact on the game? Or, I know you're into the
I
ships.
was
They did it.
actually laughing about one bug fix.
Sure, go for it.
The Millennium Falcon now puts a target lock on the attacking ship. I don't have the text in front of me, but if you, I don't know if it was critical hit or target lock the Millennium Falcon, but you get a target lock as well. But no one has the Millennium Falcon on. I mean, no one I know of.
I don't. I don't know if anybody here does. I'm not familiar with that one. So that's okay. So the Millennium Falcon one. What about you, Mike? Mike?
Yep. Sorry, couldn't find the.
Quit
the
doing
unmute button.
GW while we're doing the stream. Just because Smithy did it doesn't mean you need to.
I was actually looking for a pen
A
to
pen.
write things down. A pen.
Okay.
Un stylo, s'il vous plaît. Mo. Yeah.
That was a couple of him.
The concrete in cementing of the removal of his dominance on the meta.
Yeah. Well, the
So
meta
they
shifted
reduced
about
it.
2 weeks ago to Rex meta, which I'm sure we'll get into questions on. But I think these last two changes, I think, on the bugs fixes, because I know me and Loki had saw that and we were like, oh boy, that's the end of them all. We're on to a Wednesday stream because the health still's not like it was, and then the evasion as well was bugged as well. So that's going to have a big impact on the Sith teams and the Sith meta.
And the potency, he was giving himself twice as much potency as he was
Right.
supposed to, which meant he was like at 100% potency instead of like 50% potency. So it was almost a guaranteed 5 dazes. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yep. And that's
Which
what.
isn't
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
No. So,
Um,
go ahead,
I
Mike.
I really sorry. I noticed. I mean, I remember commenting that 18 out of the top 20 were Azul lead a couple of weeks, maybe a month ago. 18 out of 20 was Azuls.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's 5.
Yeah, Rex has taken over.
None of which in the top 10. You know, it's like
Yeah.
wow. Yeah.
I mean, they're still out there. It's still the second highest ran combination team, but it's big time more into Rex. So those last 2 weeks have been pretty telling. So how about we get into some questions, guys? You guys ready? Ready to do this?
I am.
Okay, everyone sounds super excited. I think
Bit of a
Loki's working on a
pendulous.
lightsaber. Warrior's drinking some coffee. Bella's fighting the
I am not
nature.
working on a lightsaber at the moment. You
I
have
know
my
you're not.
undivided
I
attention.
know. So let's go to our first question. This is from Martin Waterman. He says, question. Who would be good to run with a Nihilus lead besides Dooku? Let's go to you first, Loki. We haven't heard too much from you yet, so we'll start with you. And our round panel discussion, we kind of like to throw it to everybody, give everybody an equal opportunity here. So, who would be good to run with a Nihilus lead besides Dooku? What are your thoughts?
So the Nihilus lead, I would totally look into running Sith Assassin. I'm a fan of Sith Trooper, but he's a little. You got to have the right pieces around the Trooper. So I mean, one of those pieces is Sith Assassin. The other is Darth Nihilus, and then the fifth I like. I like Zeta Savage a lot, and so you have 2 tunes that could damage. Ignoring protection. So that's your Sith Trooper and your Sith Assassin. And the Sith Assassin is going to speed up the team. She's going to do her Dark Shroud, and that's going to speed up the team. And then Dooku's going to continue going off and doing his thing. And then Savage, he's kind of like your he's your second kind of like semi-instant kill with Nihilus. So he has his special ability when the other team's drops to yellow health, then he can do his 99,999 damage. So that's the current team like I run right now, and it does pretty well, and it does hold on defense. I mean, I don't drop out of top 10, overnight. So
Gotcha.
those would be the ones I'd look at. I mean, they're all kind of newer characters, like the core. So it's like Nihilus and Sith Trooper and Sith Assassin, but I think it's still a good investment, even with maybe when the Maul meta kind of shrinks, maybe the Darth Nihilus lead mode.
Umi, raising my hand. Umi.
Oh, okay. Let's see the strange person in the back with milk on his face. Go ahead, Warrior.
All right, so couple of things. This is like a super uber hot topic right now. I'm talking to the developers on because Emperor Palpatine has to be right now anyway underneath Nihilus if you're going to run Darth Nihilus because he has that ability where he self heals and it's evidently coded as a health steal because it works. So it's either bugged and I'm going to use it while it's bugged, or it's not bugged and it's working as intended and it's overpowered as hell because he can steal 5% from everybody or whatever, and then he gains like 150% of what he actually steals from everybody. So he can heal himself. He's the only Sith that can actually use a healing mechanism and it actually work. So like I said, I don't know if it's working as intended or not, but I think it's classified as a health steal. So because it's classified as a health steal, because he's doing, he's stripping it from people, it makes him really overpowered because he can actually put offense up and heal himself. So he's got to be on the team. The other thing is one, Savage works amazing. Savage with a Zeta works amazing. But under the Nihilus lead, even if he gets his health up, he doesn't actually benefit from it. So he's a little bit squishier, a little easier and faster to kill under a Nihilus lead. So you need a second cleanser. The second cleanser I found the best luck with, surprisingly, is Barisafi. Now, she because she does not do healing, she does health equalization. It works just fine under a Nihilus sleeve. And so that's another aspect that I think people kind of forget about. And so what I like to do is run Nihilus as the leader, run Sith Assassin and Savage as a combo because they're amazing. And then you can have Emperor Palpatine or Dooku, whichever. And then you can run Barris as the second cleanser. And she'll make sure, because the big Achilles heel with Sith, especially under Darth Nihilus, is someone needs to mute their mics. I'm hearing a lot of background. So the biggest thing is if somebody puts up like healing immunity and things like that, you're screwed because every hit that you steal, they're handicapped, and the one thing you have that's a benefit. So and you have Savage, they're going to be constant cleansing, and they both get bonus turn meter, so they go faster and faster and faster. And so with those two in the background cleansing your Darth Nihilus team, it's super irritating. Also, Barris can still, make sure that when they get critically hit, it doesn't proc the healing, but watch it. Just put Barris into a Darth Nihilus lead and watch what happens. It definitely increases your survivability quite a bit.
Nice. So hopefully that answers your question, Mr. Waterman. Next, we're going to start with Miss Darth Bella, who is out at McDonald's getting some coffee. This is from King Felix, and this is for everybody. I want to start with you first, Miss Bella. And he says, quick poll for the panel. The May 25th event, will it be light side or dark side character? What are your thoughts? What do you think, Miss Bella?
Is it 25th? I thought it was 20.
I think the 20th is the Grand Moff Tarkin thing, and then I think the 25th is, the new character.
Okay, I see.
Character. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's the way I read into it. But who do you think is going to be light side or dark side?
Yeah, well, we are all anticipating Jedi Luke, of course.
Smithy just heard that and is jumping up and down.
So that would be light side. Okay, R2-D2 was the last one.
Mm-hmm.
So either they get us a character that kind of goes well with R2-D2, or it should be dark side.
Okay, but if you have to pick one or the other, who do you think? Will it be a light side or a dark side character? Miss Bella?
Me. Okay. I
said, do you think it's going to be light side or dark side?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think it's light side.
Okay, so you think light side.
I could be totally wrong. But
no, it's okay. Nobody knows. We're all guessing here. So let's go to you, Mike. May 25th event. Do you think it's going to be a light side or dark side character, and who do you think it's going to be?
Replace think for want stroke hope, and I'm going to say Empire First Order Cleanser.
First Order Cleanser.
Someone with someone with Empire and First Order.
Okay.
With a cleanse, because that then solidifies both squads.
Gotcha. Mr. Loki, your thoughts. Light side or dark side? Who do you think?
I am going to say it's a light side character. I'm really hoping for a Luke Skywalker rework, so I will take the farm boy with a lightsaber at this point. In the Force Arena game, they got 2 Luke Skywalkers with lightsabers now. They got that 40th anniversary one, which looks really cool. So I'm hoping they do something along those lines, either a rework to the existing Luke Skywalker or introduce another Luke with a lightsaber.
Okay. And finally, Warrior, what do you think, my friend?
I don't know. Are we sure and 100% positive the May 25th is for the actual June character?
That's what this is kind of what's been reported, but I mean, I don't know the validity or the accuracy of that.
Okay. If it is, then obviously it's a light side if that's the case, but I thought that the second fan favorite was coming in June, like actually in June. So I don't know.
Well, I think that's for the 40th anniversary of the Star Wars original release date.
Never mind. No comment. The coffee kicked in.
Oh, Lord in heaven. All right, and I think it's going to be Darth Revan, but I am completely wrong because that will not be Darth Revan. All right, next question. We're going to go to Mike on this. And this is from Alex Simpson, and his question is, what are the best uses for my Rogue One squad members and the heroic AAT?
I'll, Chaze, Chaze in phase 4 is really good. You run it with the Wigs. I forget who you go in for the 5th, but yeah. So Chaze in there. Oh no, scrub that. Chaze Jin in phase 3.
In phase 3.
So yeah. Phase 3. If you can utilize, depending who you have. I mean, phase 3 with Chaze is great, and Jin just to steal the Terminator from the B2 Rocket Man.
Okay. Anybody else on Rogue One squad members in any aspect of the heroic AAT? Anybody want to pipe in? Any thoughts? Okay, so we've got phase 4 and phase 3. Very nice. Hope that answers your question, Mr. Alex. And then let's go back to the top to Sir Loki. This is from Salahuddin Abdullah. Salahuddin Abdullah. I hope I didn't say your name wrong. I apologize. I think this is kind of more of a follow up. Should we still, basically his question is, should we still Zeta Vader?
I would say yes. So going back to the earlier conversation, I tried the again after the bug fix with a Zeta Darth Vader lead and the usual TIE fighter pilot, and then I ran Nihilus and Darth Sidious. And you know what? I ran the team. I didn't notice the difference, so I'm not sure if the bug is actually fixed or not. I'm not saying to Zeta it because, the bug is still there. But, I mean, going back to what Warrior mentioned, he's still a solid piece. If you have, I run Darth Nihilus in Arena. This is going back to the previous question, but Vader is a good counter to the Zeta Darth Nihilus in Arena. So, it's going to make the full circle of, there's metas that can counter other metas and what have you. But he is a solid piece. He is a pilot. Zeta, his ability, then the ship gets, I want to say it's like 3 or 4 speed. So it almost gets to about 160 speed. Always good in fleet arena. And he's just useful in all the other aspects of the game. So, I mean, he's good for GW. There's a lot of Empire events. I mean, we're doing an Empire event right now. I mean, he's a solid lead in that, and he was a solid lead in the R2 event. So, Ranger, you remember you did your R2 event, so. But
yes, I
do. He was a solid lead, yeah, and he was good. I mean, so yeah. I mean, he's been proven, and he's got a lot of uses outside of Arena. He's good in the raid. So, I mean, phase 2. Phase 4, if you need another pickup team for phase 3, you can also run a Zeta lead in phase 3. And okay. For Palpatine, one of his bugs is the crackling doom now can benefit from the turn meter reduction of his lead. So I would say yes, he's still working.
Remon's here.
Oh my God, it's Remon. Remon, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. How's it going, guys?
Not much. Thanks for being on time. It's funny because he's not on time.
I'm a failure. I apologize.
That's right. The dark side. Glad to have you on, Mr. Remon. Welcome to the show, man. We're back up and running. You excited?
Yeah, I'm glad we got this thing kicking again. I mean, you guys are doing a great thing.
Yes, we are. And I wanted there's one question I'm going to skip ahead, but we'll go back. Warrior next, but there was a question asked in here: Where's Smithy? What's going on? Wasn't this his show? So let me just talk about that. So Smithy,
We murdered him. He's in the basement.
yeah, he made me angry, so I struck him violently. No, that's not what happened. Smithy is a good friend. He's a dear friend. I've known him for a while now. He just couldn't do Jedi Academy anymore. He was giving up the show, but there was a lot of community people that wanted us to continue the show, so we decided to take it over. Now, that being said, Smithy will always be a part of the show. Hell, he's on our stream every Wednesday when he wants. He just has a lot of conflicts right now. So he'll be on when he can be on, and we'll represent him. But he's kind of given us the show. Like, you run it, you do whatever you want with it, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of where we're at with Smithy. But Smithy will always be a part of this group, and will always be a part of this community. He just has a lot on his plate right now. It's really hard for him with the new baby and things of that nature to do a lot of things right now. Real life just happens that way. And we wanted to keep this going for you guys. We talked to Smithy about it. He was fully on board with us taking over and running it. He will be on here and there, and we will make sure that he always has a spot open on the Jedi Academy. So hopefully that answers your question about where Smithy is and what's going on with the Jedi Academy. So same group, Smithy will be here when he can, and we'll take it from there. All right, so let's get back to the questions. I'm going to kind of combine two questions here for you. I think they kind of go hand in hand here, Warrior, and then we'll go start running through the cycle here. Um, First one's from Enrique, and he asks, he heard R2 Zeta is bugged and wants to know if this is true. And then Alliance Pimp Ghost asked a question, what are your favorite comps with R2 so far? I think this is kind of for everybody if they want to answer, but we'll start with you, Warrior, for those two things. Is his second Zeta bugged? Are you aware of this? And what are your favorite comps with R2 so far?
Yeah, so I'm oblivious to bugs. I don't honestly. I had to admit it. I mean, I'm a warrior, right? But I honestly, I just play the game, play the characters, and just have fun. Normally, when a bug happens, it's like someone is bringing it up to me. I don't catch it most of the time. I very rarely catch a bug myself. And then when they, announce a bunch of bug fixes, I'm like, oh, you know what? That does make sense. But I don't really pay attention to bugs. And I've got R2D2. I've got a max geared, max start. I play with him, and I don't know of any. I'm not aware of any bugs. So if he would have described the bug, I could have said, "Oh, you know what? That makes sense," or not. So maybe in the comments he can drop what that bug was he thought. But my two favorite comps is I love my Darth Nihilus led team with my fifth slot. Because that fifth slot I can rotate in Kylo Ren, or I could rotate in Barisafi, and I like R2D2 in there. I think he's great because when you're with Darth Nihilus, the one kind of Achilles heel is those really fast Darth Maul teams, and having R2D2 there burning the opponents and stuff just really helps. Plus, he brings upon us the stuns. But the most overpowered team with R2D2 I can think of right now, and it is probably, in my humble opinion, is. And man, Riemann is going to agree with me. He's got to agree with me, dude, on this.
We'll find out.
Holy freaking crap, dude. Jedi, I've never Zetaed Qui-Gon Jinn. What's my problem? Why? What the hell was wrong with Warrior? I finally Zetaed on my live stream yesterday. Live streamed. I Zetaed Qui-Gon Jinn. I did my first battle, and holy freaking cannoli. Zeta Qui-Gon Jinn with General Kenobi and R2D2 and two others like Yoda and Ayla, or Yoda and Ezra. I was using Ezra and Ayla, and I like stun locked the other team, and I just destroyed with all the extra calls in for Sir. I mean, R2 got called in a lot, Ayla got called in a lot, Ayla's calling in extra attacks. I would just the amount of stunning that happened and the amount of foresight up was so ridiculous that I hardly even lost any protection on a team that normally takes one of my characters. I have four standing at the end. Completely and utterly blown away. And I have said, oh, the next meta is blank possibly, or the next meta is blank possibly. Do Jedi solidly, and I mean solidly, have a home in the meta in the future over the next 4 to 6 months easily.
Raymond, your thoughts,
Yeah,
my friend?
I actually agree 100%. I think the Jedi benefit the most from R2D2 right now.
But
I
but
have
does
seen some pretty good other comps. I mean, like I worked with a Rebel team. I mean, you kind of stick like Wedge, Biggs, like say, Chase in there with R2D2, and you get it done. But Jedi, I mean, yeah, like with a Qui Gon Jinn Zeta and General Kenobi R2D2, you can really pretty much insert Jedi, the other two Jedi you want. It could be Ayla, it could be Yoda, it could be Anakin, it could be Ahsoka if you really want, and you're still gonna. I mean, I think you're gonna benefit more from, let's say, maybe Anakin and Ayla or Yoda and Ayla. But I mean, again, you can pretty much insert any two other Jedi in there and have a good team. I mean, you can pretty much compete with any other team out there. And I mean, they get if you speed them up, they get a huge damage increase. They get you get all the stuns, especially if you have Ayla in there. You get a lot of call and assists. Ezra Bridger's great too because I mean you get another dispeller in there. It's a really great squad. I think the RTD makes the Jedi a viable team. Again, I mean, for sure.
What about Loki, Mike, Bella? Are you guys playing around with R2 at all in any of your teams? And what are your thoughts on Mr. R2D2?
I've tried him in arena under a Nihilus lead. He was fun. Yeah, he was my fifth man. Like Warrior was saying, it's great against the Zol teams. Other than that, still, as I've geared 11 him, I've only ability level 7 at the moment. I'm playing around with clones, possibly taking him into phase 2 in the tank. No, I like him. I do like him. I think he's a character that's going to really develop over the next few months and become, quite a go-to player, go-to tune.
Okay. All right, so let's go to the next question. Trying to keep track of where we're at. It is actually. Let's see. Okay, we'll go to Miss Bella to start this off with. This is from our good friend E. Walken. Shout out to you, E. He was asking about a Lobot lead with K2, R2, B2, and Jawa Engineer as a possible new meta. We'll start with you, but we'll get the panel thoughts on this as well. So, what do you think about with Lobot lead with K2SO, R2D2, B2, and Jawa Engineer as a team, and if it could be possibly a new meta? Did we lose Bella?
I think she's muted. I can't hear the bird song.
Yeah, Bella, if you're muted, we can't hear you, hon.
There's no mute symbol on her face.
Huh. Okay, that's weird. Mike, we'll go to you then. What are your thoughts on that team, and then we'll throw it to the panel.
Theory wise, I like. Yeah, it sounds good. You've got some interesting aspects there. I seem to recall seeing some theory crafting already in that area. It's like most things, you've got to stick it in there and try it out to really gauge it. Hats off to anyone that's got a max Lobot. Yeah, you deserve it purely just on that basis alone.
Let's start out the rest of the panel. What do we think of that as a possibly new meta from our boy E. Walken? Anybody? Are we having technical?
I'm sorry, I had to go back and read Lobot's abilities. That's what.
Jesus.
I mean, it sounds cool. You're gonna be the new kid on the block in your arena, shard, but I don't see where the offense is coming from. It's out there that's gonna instant kill your guys. People still running Boba Fett. I mean, they're going to be running their R2D2 in a Jedi squad, so you got a lot of dispel. I'll tell you that. It's just a very supportive team, but you don't have any damage dealers. I mean, K2 is going to be super annoying.
Mm-hmm.
B2 is going to, do his thing, and Jawa Engineer is going to speed up your other droids. But beyond that, could it be a timeout team? I mean, I don't know. We got the 4 times battle speed now, so it's going to be hard to make another timeout team. So those are my thoughts. I mean, it sounds cool.
Totally agree with Sir Loki. You've got your own cleanse for your own team. You've got the dispel for the opposing team to get rid of their crap with the B2. You've got very tanky teams. You've got the ability to bring people back and speed people up. So you've got everything except any damage. There's like no damage there. Not one of those characters does any real significant damage at all. And especially with teams that are, could you imagine a Jedi team that has foresight and every character has 60,000 health and protection or more? I mean, they wouldn't even be able to finish one character off, and that's if they even got the foresight down. And they could, K2SO could run back and forth and hit him in the nuts as much as he wants. He's not going to get him down. I don't know. When they rework Lobot, and he hits like 30k on his basic, then maybe, because they need that. No, there's not the damage.
Yeah, and Ewok just put a message in the chat that he was trolling us. That was a joke question. I'm going to kill you, Ewok, and I'm going to get with you after this.
That's awesome. Super excited.
He made us all go really into it. He's like, sorry, LOL. Oh, Lord in heaven. All right, I'm trying to see if we can get Bella back. I'm not... Bella, are you back yet? I guess not. Okay, Bella, when you come back, if you can hear us, then just say, "Oh, she's not even on the Hangouts anymore." Oh boy, I guess McDonald's the Wi-Fi there is not as good as we thought. So let's go back to the top. Oh, actually, no, we haven't gone to Riemann yet. So Riemann, this is from Darth Braze. I'm running Zeta Gear 10, Nihilus Gear 10, Bears Gear 11, 5 Gear 11, Bubba Gear 11. I float around 200. Who'd you guys replace first to move up?
So he's running a Zeta lead?
Yeah, it looks like Zeta lead, Gear 10 with Nihilus Gear 10, Bears Gear 11. Actually, he didn't say who his lead is. I'm assuming it's Zeta, since it's Zeta. Bears Gear 11, 5 Gear 11, and Bubba Gear 11. He said he's floating around 200. Who would we recommend? We'll start off with you to replace so he can move up in the ranks.
He's kind of got a weird comp because, I mean, it's like, it's not like none of his team really benefits from the Zeta lead. And on top of that, it's like I mean, they're all like good characters individually, but they're not like it's like you took the 5 best players and just put them all on the same team. You know what I'm saying? They're not always going to have the best synergy. You know what I'm saying? They're not always going to be, like, do you remember the LA Lakers back in the day when they had like Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, they had Karl Malone, Gary Payton, like everybody at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like even though you put the 5 best players in the league together on the same team, they didn't win a championship because they just the Detroit Pistons just had a better team. They were a better team ball players. They worked better together. So my opinion would be, again, just not getting off too far on a tangent here, is if you're going to run a Zeta lead, I think you need more Empire characters in there.
Yeah, so who would you recommend? Like, if he was replaced, like, say, 5s, who would you recommend to replace?
Sith Assassin.
I mean,
Palpatine.
we're also. It seems like they're kind of hinting at Tarkin maybe getting some a rework or something like that. So I mean, I may hold out and try to see what's going on with that. But I'd say Palpatine or maybe Death Trooper.
That's a good one. I love me some Death Trooper.
I think those are good characters that could really benefit more from the Zeta lead if you're running Zeta lead. But to get into the top 20, if that's what he's looking for at some point, he said he's flown around the top 200.
He just wants to move up.
you're going to have to ditch the Zeta lead altogether. You know what I'm saying? And maybe consider like Warrior suggesting lately, since there's all this Rex out there, maybe consider running a Nihilus lead. If you already have a Gear 10 Nihilus, throw the Zeta on Nihilus's leader, get some offense mods, and mod him up for offense. Nothing that has to do with crit chance or crit damage. And use Vader on that team, with Nihilus, and try to use maybe Sidious and Dooku and Palpatine. But again, if you don't have all the Sith and you're just looking to replace one or two pieces on your Vader team, I'd say adding like a Death Trooper or Palpatine or somebody else into that mix. Even though Boba Fett's great and all those other characters are great, I think you're going to get more benefit from the synergy that you get from the turn meter reduction and all that.
Okay. Anybody else have any thoughts on this guy's team and what else that they could possibly change out? Who said Sith Assassin? Was that you, Warrior? You sneaky turd.
Yeah, that was me. I'm like, if you're going to run Darth Vader Zeta lead, it's a turd lead, really, unless you're going against a bunch of Darth Nihilus, which hasn't really happened yet. So, but if you want to actually be competitive against Mauls and against everything else, you just need a ridiculously fast team. And really, the only way to make Darth Vader fast is going to be Sith Assassin. And just if you have a lightning fast Sith Assassin, anything over 250, and she gives her ability, you're faster than most everything but another Darth Maul and maybe a Jedi team, which would easily get you into the top 50. And with the debuffs, perma debuffs out there, it really does chew through teams relatively fast. I'd have Darth Nihilus behind him as well. Why not? He gains a benefit. I would also have Boba Fett. I mean, if you're going to put that many debuffs and they're going to be sitting and keeping on people's head, you should have, have Boba Fett. And then also with Boba Fett, have Sith Assassin behind there. So there's 4, and then the 5th one could be Emperor Palpatine for the stuns and the buff immunity with the shock and things like that. I mean, that's probably the route I would go. And I've ran that team. That's a freaking awesome team. I've done top 10 with that team. It's just if you go against teams that are really competitive, I'm talking top 10, top 20 teams, Darth Vader's tough. It's possible, but it's tough. You've got to have some really freaking insane mods.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to the top. Let's go back to Mr. Sir Loki, who is busy building my lightsaber and taking the time to answer questions. It's a wonderful thing. This comes from Timmy Radio. I don't know. I just butchered that name completely. I apologize, Timmy. His question is: the Kenobi sync seems like a cool new invention. What do you think about adding Gar Saxon to it? He would attack a lot every turn if you made Bubba lead because he has a universal lead and a double attack. What do you think about that, sir?
I haven't played with the team yet. Mike, did you have a Gar Saxon video up, I think?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
I would click on Mike's name in the chat room, and he's got a great video on it. He's done a lot. I think you've done the was it the Who's the Fifth is what you're calling your little series of Kenobi syncs. So it's really entertaining to watch. But just me looking, from the outside, I think I just don't think he does enough damage. That's my only issue with him. Do you agree with me, Mike? I think.
Sorry, who's damage dealing?
Gar Saxon.
No, he doesn't do much damage at all. Mine's only Gear 8, 4-star. I run him in Galactic War. I'm just trying things out. So I've been running like Empire active and has blown me away. Was and with Death Trooper and TIE Fighter Pilot. So you use the I forget what Death Troopers kill and they can't come back ability is at the moment, but you use that first time round, and then he's putting death marks down, and you just watching them melt, and it was astounding. I mean, it was against Gear 11, Royal Guard, Sunfac, and 5s, and yeah, blew them away. Very impressive.
Awesome.
You can't
Go ahead,
use death mark. His turn though, right?
Sorry.
Only works after somebody's been defeated, right?
Yeah. So I normally try. I normally try and weaken one of them and then take them out with Death Troopers. You ain't coming back ability. I should be more professional and tell you what that ability is called. But yeah, once that gets going.
Well, somebody's got the kids and stuff in the background. Is that you, Darth Bella, who came back?
Yeah, I'm back, but I thought I muted my mic.
You were gone completely. We didn't know what happened to you. I mean, we know
Yeah,
you practice the dark side, but I mean, we thought you just went really into it. So it's like
Yeah.
you annihilated yourself or something. We were a little worried.
Yeah,
So
I was. That nearly happened, you know.
well,
That
that's
nearly happened.
it makes me more curious to see what does go on in a McDonald's in your part of the world. It seems like it's a fun
You should
time.
not. You should.
Birds
you should
and
not worry.
motorcycles and Bella's using dark side abilities and disappearing. It's just crazy. It's craziness, I'm telling you.
And of course,
But you don't worry about me. I've got Yoda with me.
Oh.
don't forget,
I've got.
Bella can't
Actually,
order a quarter pounder.
I bought a voice for my.
It's called Hamburger Royale.
Yeah.
No. So my sat nav has a Yoda voice, and it's really funny.
Oh, nice.
It makes me laugh the whole time. Go to the left, but don't go to the dark side, and so on. He's really funny.
Lack of faith you have. All right. All right.
In
So
400 meters, you must break.
order a mocha, you will. All right. So this is we'll go to you, Miss Bella, since we missed you on the last question. This is for our good friend Scroats, and this is a good question for dark side users yourself. What's the chance this anticipated Tarkin rework makes him a much needed dark side cleanser? What are your thoughts, Miss Bella, Darth Lady of the Sith?
I don't. I never really used Tarkin in arena or in battles. Just
Or
his
anywhere.
ship
It's
I
okay.
find
Yeah,
interesting.
it's okay. We
Yeah,
know.
it's a capital ship. And I was thinking if anything will happen to that, but I think if they rework him, it might be rather the character squad that profits.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We will see.
Okay. Anybody else about the upcoming Tarkin rework thoughts? Anybody? Say your name, offer your opinion.
Mike, I would love it if that's what he got, a cleansing ability. I actually use him under my alt York. He's in my arena just to speed everyone up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean he's squishy, but he's effective. He just gives you that extra boost. It's yeah.
Well,
it's funny when you knock someone down that's a lot higher.
Well, with the upcoming rework, I mean, do you think they're going to make him a cleanser or a healer or something of that nature, or do you think they're just going to tweak his abilities? Anybody want to jump in on that? What we think will happen?
Strategist.
I don't know. I mean, the one thing that Darkseid doesn't have is they don't have cleansing and a lot of healing. You know,
Yeah.
it's just they straight offense, go in there, debuff, and rock and roll. So we'll have to see what happens with that. We'll see. So let's go back to the top of. We'll start from the top and work our way around. Mr. Loki. Martin Waterman wants to know what's the best way to 3-star the Zeta ship challenge.
Damn, it's been a while. I had a conversation with Bella. You help a lot of people in your ship chat room.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's been so long since I did mine. I really can't provide any info. I don't know if you have anything.
Yeah. usually you have two JCs, right? When you start, you have a Rex, you have Clone Sarge, and what is the fifth ship? I just can't remember
Ahsoka?
the fifth one. No, on the opponent side, I mean. But
Is it two Clone Sarge?
no, one Clone Sarge, one Rex, two JCs, and then there's a fifth one. Maybe Biggs. No, not Biggs, but some other ship. So usually I start with a JC and take out them and go for. There's two, right? So you want to get rid of the assist, and then you go for Rex and Clone Sarge. They will taunt anyway, so you have to take them out.
Okay.
Most important thing, as always, is to target lock.
Yeah.
So to direct them to your bigs.
All right. I hope that
have a lot of target locks and protect, so you can keep taunting.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get questions into this at the same time. And then Finn's trolling, so I have to slap him down. So hopefully that answers your question. Next one for Warrior. Question from our good friend MJ. He wants to know, he wants to Zeta Darth Nihilus lead, but worried about the tenacity fix. What are your thoughts? And also, how will he hold on defense?
Oh, MJ and I've talked privately on Discord about this.
I talk to him all the time too. He's a fruity little guy.
But I'll readdress it again just for the benefit of the entire group. So first off, the tenacity fix is a nightmare, and if there was one thing that could totally and completely devastate a Darth Nihilus lead, or even him just being utilized, it's that. I mean, his insta kill. If he ends up not being, if tenacity up becomes that thing, and a really fast Rex team prevents that, 8 rounds, it may never happen. You could easily fight a Darth Nihilus and him never do an annihilate. So that's a definite worry about that fix and having to see it play out and stuff. So it makes me nervous there. But I mean, he said Darth Nihilus lead, and the lead is always going to be a Zeta, a bowl of ability, something that you can Zeta. But I am worried about that. But that's going to happen regardless, and everyone's going to continue to use Darth Nihilus. I just think his overall usability may go down a little as a fifth slotted person, but his leadership's still really, really cool. And this is the deal. Everything in this game is getting more and more balanced every time we go. I know it doesn't feel that way right now because, Darth Maul was the thing, and now Darth Maul and Rex are shining the limelight. And I think every character kind of has his 15 minutes of fame. But overall, if you look, you can run a wedge lead right now. Right now, you can. I have one in my top 5. You can run a Rex lead. You can run a Darth Nihilus lead. Actually, my top 5 yesterday was Rex, Qui-Gon Jinn, Darth Nihilus, Darth Maul, and Wedge. Literally 5 different leaders, and that's not even all the leaders you can have. So it's becoming more and more diversified, and what's happening is this team, Darth Vader beats, Darth Nihilus, and Darth Maul might beat Darth Nihilus, but Darth Nihilus beats Darth Maul on offense and Jedi really fast. And it's just all these different everything beats something but is weak to something else, and the longer the game goes, if they're going to have longevity in the game, they've got to create that balance. The power creep is real, and they got to make sure that the power creep doesn't happen or is mitigated to some point. And so the more balance they get, but Darth Nihilus is a piece of that very wide puzzle that's becoming the future meta. And so I think that you'll never regret doing somebody who's a tried and true character in the game, and Darth Nihilus is one of those.
Okay. Hope that answers your question. Next, we'll go to Mike. This is from Evergoo. Based on your shards, which team seems to hold best defensively, aka drift less than others? And he says, much thanks to everyone. So, what do you say to that, Mr. Mike? Mr. Man?
I would say it would have to be the Rex anti-Sith squad. Anti-Sith? Wow. Anti-Sith squad.
Yeah.
So Rex lead with General Kenobi, Chirrut, Baze, and Darth Nihilus. Although, let me check. I actually Zeta'd my Nihilus lead yesterday, and in 16 hours I've dropped 6 spots with a full Sith squad.
Okay.
I'm down to my lucky number 8.
I'm kind of curious the rest of the panel. Let's go to each one. What do you guys think is, based off that question, which is the best defensive team? Sorry, Remo, what do you think, based off your shard, what you're seeing?
I don't think any defensive team is gonna really hold on defense like teams used to be able to. I think every team is beatable now, but the best defensive team I think right now is still a Sith team with Darth Maul Zeta. That's my opinion.
Okay, what about you, Sir Loki?
So right now, I'm looking at my arena as well. The Jedi teams are popping up now because of R2D2, at least on my shards. So there's 3 of them now. It's looking like they're holding defense. So there's definitely something going on there that we'll probably see maybe a little bit of a shift in the meta report soon. But you still can't go wrong with Rex. I mean, the way you think about the defense team is how well the AI can play it, and the Rex-led team right now with the Chaze and General Kenobi and the Darth Nihilus. I mean, there's really no combos that the AI needs to rely on to survive, and it's pretty it plays itself. So just based on that, I mean, a Rex-led team, I've seen people swap out Darth Nihilus for R2D2 now, and it gives R2D2 with Retribution from General Kenobi is just crazy good, because he'll just stun the other team a lot and kind of wear you down, and Chase and will continue doing their thing. So Trude's going to beat up on you, and Baze will taunt, and they'll all heal themselves and all that. So it's still looking like Rex, and then I do have a few Zol teams still, like in my top 10, but surprisingly, I'm seeing more Jedi now in my shard, and still Rex lead.
Okay, what about you, Bella?
What about me?
Yes. Are you paying attention, Bella? Quit drinking coffee and using the dark side. We're trying to stream here. For your shard, defense, what do you think?
I can't add anything.
Okay.
on Nihilus.
You get your hiney home so you can be a part of the stream better. Quit force lightning people. We'll go to Warrior. Warrior, your thoughts based off your shard and your experience and what you're seeing. What do you think?
Oh, I gotta say that Riemann a couple of months ago turned me on to Jedi, and I was an idiot and didn't listen to him at the time. He kept saying, Dark Horse, Dark Horse, Dark Horse. It's Jedi, 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 and he kept saying we're underplaying the Jedi. And I was like, whatever, whatever. I killed the Jedi team. And I did kill the Jedi team back then. But he's right. I was wrong. The number 1 team on our shard is a Jedi team, defensively. We have a bunch of guys. We have about 20 of us, actually, in a chat. And we try to work together. It's almost impossible because there's, 2 on my payout, 2 on another payout, and 3 on another payout. And so it's tough because you kind of either create an evolution, or you just have to fight it out. But we do kind of work together and talk and things like that. And one guy, there's a couple guys not on our chat, and one of the guys that's not on our chat is like the only Qui-Gon Jinn Zeta lead, and he just happens to have R2D2 now on that team. And that team was missing something. Now that R2D2's on there, it's not missing anything. He has Yoda. He has a Qui-Gon Jinn lead with a Yoda, a R2D2, a Kenobi, and in his 5th slot, he's used Ayla, he's used Anakin, and actually Anakin is stupid sick in that spot. He's just really, really annoying as hell, especially with Anakin and General Kenobi together. And it's one of the teams that everybody, when we talk in Discord, they all say, I can't beat him. I can't freaking beat him. Let's skip him, jump over him, blah, blah, blah. And I fight him, and I found my Sith teams. I'm like, what? This is Jedi. Sith kill Jedi. Like, this is ridiculous. And it plays on AI about as well as I've seen anything. And it takes me a solid 4 minutes on 4x speed to beat his Jedi team, which is exactly why I Qui-Gon Jinn Zeta yesterday myself, and why I say Riemann was months ahead of the meta, and Riemann was onto something. So kudos to you, brother, and I appreciate the insight, because you're right. In my opinion, that team I just described is the single-handed best defensive team, and probably almost as good, if not as good, would be the Rex lead with Darth Nihilus, General Kenobi with the Chaze backup. The only reason why I would give it the edge to him is because Chaze has now been fixed as far as when one dies, the other one loses the benefits of the other. And now that you do that, as soon as you can kill Chaze, or as soon as you kill Baze, or Chirrut or Baze, either one, the whole thing kind of falls apart for the two of them.
Yeah.
So it's not as strong as it was. Just like the Barriss combination under General Kenobi with fives, once upon a time that was like the timeout team,
Oh, yeah.
and now it's not, because they fixed Barriss. And so when they do these fixes, it does make teams that are hyper viable a little less viable. And then of course, a team's been around for a long time. Everybody learns kill order, right? You got to kill this guy, then this guy. With a Jedi, like, nobody's running Jedi, so people don't know what you're supposed to do with Jedi, and it's very difficult. It's very
Who are
difficult.
these
General
people
Kenobi.
with not red lightsabers? I don't know how to play with them. What are they?
Exactly.
All right. So
It took you 4 minutes to beat that team, and that's with the
Jedi teams in my top, let's say 20, 25. The rest is Dark Side or Rogue One. So it's not many.
And that's with the 4 times speed, right? So I mean, like, imagine when we didn't have that. Imagine when we didn't have the speed.
Oh yeah, you'd be hosed.
Yeah, insanity, Riemann. You were onto something, and you said Ezra would be a possible potential key. I've got Ezra on my Jedi team right now, and he's absolutely fatty. He's awesome.
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right. So, Mr. Riemann, you are up next, my friend. This question comes from Renato Saavedra. My goodness, these names. I'm gonna have to take a class. Question from Animan. What should be a good speed for Chase and Chirrut and General Kenobi, Darth Nihilus under a Rex lead at 232 speed?
You see, with the Rex lead, the speed isn't quite as important as with some other teams, because meter. So it's like, you still want to be fast, but I mean, you want to be at least over 200 speed with all your characters. But I mean, I don't think it's as important as, let's say, when you're on like a Zeta team, or if you're on a Nihilus team, or a team like that, where you're not getting the turn meter bonus that you're getting from Zol, or you're not getting the turn meter bonus that you get from Rex. On those teams, speed is a little bit more important. I think with a Rex lead, it's more important really that you increase your tenacity so that you don't get stunned, because if that happens, then Rex can't do his he can't throw tenacity up and give everybody turn meter. It prevents you from getting debuffs on you like shock or daze that prevent you from getting turn meter.
Right.
So I mean, like that. I mean, I would say, on a Rex lead, the most important I think would be tenacity over speed.
Okay. Very nice. All right. Next up is Miss Bella. You are back up. Question here for you, Miss Darth Bella. This is from Scroats. Should you spend crystals on Sith Assassin or Trooper Shards and shipments, or on Cantina Energy to farm her?
Cantina Energy for sure, yes. Spending crystals is up to you. I mean, if you're in a hurry to finish a character 7-star it, then you can think about it. But I just do it like if there's an event or something and I need to 7-star a character.
Cool. Anybody else thoughts on that question? Pretty good answer. Okay.
It depends on the RNG because 100 crystals could get you probably an average of 2 or 3 of her shards farming that way. But you could spend it more specifically in the store and probably get better, aka RNG, because you know exactly what you're getting. But don't discount it's a
Lawyer.
big deal. Don't discount the purple mats. I get a ridiculous amount of purple mats. I'm talking over 100 a week from farming in those highest nodes. I farmed Sith Assassin up to 7 stars, and now I'm on Sith Trooper. And farming for Sith Trooper and Sith Assassin have been the most glorious Mark III purple mat generation I've ever had in the entire game. Literally, I get about 100 purples a week from that. And I've gotten 3 Omegas this week from farming. Now I do a few more refreshes than some people, so you could take that and even have it. But even if you halved it, you're still getting 1 or 2 potential Omegas a week, and you're getting 40 to 50 or 60 even purple mats additional, and that is so much more important than Sith Assassin getting 7-starred a week earlier. You know what I mean? So
Well,
I
yeah,
would
we've
do, if it
talked
was
about
me, I
this.
agree
Yeah,
with Bella.
we've talked about this on this show and other shows. Is that stars are not as important as gear and mods, right? Because you can run these characters at 4-star and still be just as fine with gear 10 or gear 11 and really good mods, right? So I think if you want to spend crystals, go for it, but just farm. And I think both Bella and Warrior make great points about that. So hopefully that helps answer your question, Mr. Scroats. All right, next up, back to the top, we have Sir Loki. This is from our good friend Captain Blackbeard. Arr. Question. I think this is a player. He says, how do you beat Ski in GW? He has General Kenobi lead with R2, Nihilus, and Chaze. Help a brother out, Sir Loki. How does he do it?
I mean, I don't know your roster, but look into characters that have days and shock, and so you're looking at possibly team with Zeta Maul or even just a regular Maul lead, and take advantage of those debuffs like shock and days team down. I mean, this is GW, so I mean you can throw multiple teams at it, but I would approach it from that angle. Rely on those kinds of debuffs to kind of slow the team down and wear it down. But it does sound like a pretty awful team to face. So
it is, but one of the things too, like my Node 12 is like that, but I'll run a team in and I'll focus on like a character. I'll run like my 3rd-tier team in there. That's why it's
yeah,
important in
definitely.
GW to have multiple teams geared. So I'll run a team in there and just kill a couple of them, and then run my main team and just go wipe them out, right? So that could be another way to go
Right.
about it. If you just, if you have that opportunity, that's why it's important to have different teams. If not, then you're gonna have to be very specific, like Lucky said, to beat that team.
Yeah, I mean, you got B2, you got Death Trooper if you got them, so you can also their side and then apply the shock and days. So you got Dooku, you got Palpatine, Maul. So I would focus on that. I mean, it just sounds like you would just use multiple teams. Maybe just need like 2 or 3 teams to take it down, but
Yeah,
doable.
there you go. All right. Hopefully that answers your question, Captain Blackbeard. Next to Mr. Warrior. This is from the tour. He says, "Hi guys, I'm running Rex lead with General Kenobi, Nihilus, Boba Fett, and Xylo. I want to put an RTD2 in. Who should I replace to improve my defense? Normally drop 10 to 12 places overnight."
Silent. Oh,
Warrior.
my bad. Sorry.
Warrior. You're on mute, buddy. Are you there, Warrior? We're going once. I guess he's not there. So, anybody else want to answer that question? Riemann, Mike?
What's the question again?
So I'll read the question again. It says, "Hi guys, I'm running a Rex lead. General Kenobi, Nihilus, Boba Fett, and Xylo. I want to put R2D2 in. Who should I replace to improve my defense? I normally drop 10 to 12 places overnight."
I'd replace Boba Fett.
Okay, so you say Boba Fett. Anybody else?
I'd say Xylo.
Okay, so you say Boba Fett and you say Xylo. Okay, Mike, what is your reasoning for adding or replacing
for
Xylo?
Xylo, it's just that AI doesn't play Xylo right.
Actually, I actually agree with him. I'm thinking about it again, and to be honest with you, he's probably right. Xylo is a better character than Boba Fett, but not on defense.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe Xylo might be the best one to take. Because for some reason, again, the AI just doesn't play him right.
There you go.
Hit his limit and then switch on the last battle.
There you go. Okay, cool. Hope that answers your question. Get your questions in, guys. We're collecting them all, and we're getting to them. Let's see. That threw me off completely. We'll stay in order. Mike, this is from our good friend Shadowville. Is Yoda Zeta needed for Zeta Qui-Gon Jinn teams?
No, it's not needed, but it's gonna make it a lot better. So don't shy from using him immediately, but if you're gonna incorporate him into your squad regularly, then farming the Zetas needed would be definitely worthwhile.
Okay. I mean, if you weren't going to run a Yoda, a Yoda, so you didn't have it, who would you run with? Like, come up with a team for Jedi then with a Qui-Gon lead Zeta that you would run if you didn't have Yoda Zeta or Yoda just in fact.
Are we going complete Jedi or
Yeah.
I got some flex?
Let's say Jedi.
Oh wow. Okay, so this is where I have to admit I've been neglecting my Jedi for quite some time.
How dare you, sir?
I know, it's awful. It really is.
I got 2 cents on that for sure because I fought him.
Oh well, thanks for coming back, Warrior.
My phone was muted. I tried to unmute it earlier and it wouldn't unmute, so I exited out of the software to try and just crash it. But the call was still going, but I couldn't get into the call. I couldn't get out of the call, so I had to reboot my damn phone.
Oh,
so that was that. But so if you're using an all Jedi team, they're not as durable as without R2D2. R2D2 brings another level of insanity to that team. So you're putting R2D2 in there. With R2D2 though, there is a bit of vulnerability in the first round with the Zeta because Qui-Gon Jinn doesn't put a foresight up over him because he's not Jedi. So you actually have to have Yoda if you want to have that tenacity and foresight on your R2D2. So to do that, you've got to have a Yoda, and to get your Yoda foresight for 2 turns, you've got to have the Zeta. And so I fought him without his Zeta Yoda when he had just Yoda, and I fought it with the Zeta Yoda, and the Zeta Yoda made it even tougher. And then when he threw in R2D2, it just became almost impossible to beat. I had to literally make a specific composition to beat his team. So I would say if you're going to run Yoda, and I would highly suggest it, you should Zeta his ability. But, he's 1 Zeta and Qui-Gon Jinn is 1 Zeta. That's only 40 Zeta pieces. In comparison, almost every other faction requires 80 or more to have a complete faction run. So it's the most cost-effective faction to go for, and it's also future meta. So good call on that.
Okay. Okay, so let's see here. Next question. I'm gonna throw this out to everybody. I'm gonna throw it to Riemann first. This is from Joe Gabbery. I hope you said your name right. If I didn't, I apologize. Why are people not wanting a refund for Zal? Now, I don't know what he means by this, but if someone wants to, that's his question. If someone wants to, I think Riemann Zol's been one of your Maul just in general is one of your favorite characters. You've been on him for a long time. Why are people
Yeah.
not wanting a refund for Zol? I guess you assume with all the bug changes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to compare it to like what happened with Barris. And I don't. While I agree that now that there's been a change to the mechanic, you should have the right to choose whether you want to put that piece back on him or not. I also don't think it's as large of a change as what happened with Barris. Whereas like Barris really that made Barris that change to Barris made the teams not as viable as they were before. Whereas like I think the changes to Zol don't make him. I don't think it makes the Zol team much worse, or it doesn't make as much. It doesn't affect the team as much as the Zaris change did. I don't know if you agree with what I'm saying, but I think that it's I understand why they gave back the Zetas for Barris. It was also like I think it was just the first thing they did, and they their knee jerk reaction was just to give everybody back their Zetas to just avoid any backlash. But I don't think that the bug fixes for Zol are really making the Zol team so much worse that it really constitutes a refund. But I mean, again, I understand where like if somebody feels differently about that, they you should have the right to decide now that you see that there's been a change whether you'd like to equip this or not. So I see that side of it too.
All right.
But
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think I don't to answer his question. I don't think there's as much of an uproar about it. Like I don't think there's people complain. I think what he's asking is why aren't people complaining about Zol? Because I don't think it's as big of a game changer to the Zol team as the Zaris Zeta was.
Okay. Anybody else have an opinion on that? Say your name. Speak up. Going once. Going twice. Sold to no one. All right. Moving on. We're going to go to Darth Bella next, and this is going to be a question for everybody. Kind of get your thoughts on this. This comes from our good friend Turbs, and his question: how do you guys think guild versus guild is going to work, knowing that live PvP isn't possible in the game? What are your thoughts on this idea and everything, Miss Bella?
She doesn't look
I think she dropped
She
off.
just dropped.
Again?
She just dropped
Ah!
again. McDonald's Wi-Fi. What were you going to say?
We need to get Grande with
The bird
her. He
went away.
should teach her to
Well-
steal government Wi-Fi. I mean, this is what's needed. Oh, we're gonna have to make that happen. All right, I'm gonna throw this back at the top to Sir Loki, and you can start answering the question. And then I'm with this for the whole panel because that's something that's been kind of talked about. What do you think about that question, Mr. Sir Loki?
I thought about this a lot, and one of the things that I think they're going to utilize is stuff that's already in the game. So when I think of a guild versus guild, we had tournaments in the past, so they have the mechanic to do a ladder point collecting type of event. And we also have several other challenges, like the mod challenges where it's a certain faction to obtain certain mods, right? So my thought on the whole thing is, I don't think the guild, if we do get guild versus guild, I don't think it's going to be strictly arena power, that you got to members with, top 10 arena teams or something like that. I think if they are going to do some kind of tournament ladder point collecting for guild versus guild, I think it's going to be based on like mod challenges, and I think there's going to be certain events where you're going to need certain factions or types of characters. So the health mod challenge is all Jedi, and when you complete that task, then you move on to the next one, which is like First Order. Then you move on to the next one. It could be like Night Sisters or something like that.
How
and
dare
then you
they?
move to the next one. And they keep doing that. So and the reason I'm saying this is because you got to look at what they have in the game now. I don't think they could just seriously implement something totally new in the right time frame. They've been giving us these events with new characters, and you always have to use some kind of set faction or set group to obtain the higher end prizes and characters and stuff like that. So like the R2 event, right? You can only use Empire, right? So I think they're kind of molding us in that direction where could do the tournament style again with point collecting based on the guilds, and it would have to be like maybe 30 of your members have to complete tier 1, which is like an all Jedi 20 battles, and they get increasingly hard on that. So that's what I'm thinking. And I look at other mobile games and they have something similar to that where your guild takes on some kind of opponent or whatever, and the other guilds do the same thing, and you guys climb a ladder system. So
All right, I want to get everyone else's thought on that. Does everyone agree with what Loki said, or do they have a different opinion on this? Say your name and say what you think.
This is Warrior. I don't know. The tournaments we had previously were a ton of fun. A lot of people didn't like them, but there's a lot of crabby, crying people in anything.
No, there's not.
When they don't win. So tournaments were super fun, but the problem with tournaments and the reason why it went away is because they weren't server-based tournaments. They were local side, and so people could cheat on the local side, and then there was people that shouldn't have won that were winning. So the only way that I see them being able to successfully roll something out that's competitive like this is going to have a server integration where there are checks of what they're submitting from the local side has to go through a server check of some sort to see like a combat analysis of how many turns, things like that, so that way they can catch naturally through the server the cheaters. Because if they have no capability for busting cheaters, all it's going to be is tournaments 2.0, and then you're going to have teams that specifically, there was a ton of them that did this before, but they blast through. Like for example, Team Instinct was the first team in history to do the heroic AAT tank raid. Number 2 team was a Russian team that didn't even have more than 5 level 85 players. It is a physical impossibility. Even now, with 5 people, you really can't beat, with level 85 guys, the heroic AAT from start to finish. Like it's doable with 15 to 20, but this was back on day 1, and we know, I mean, the company knows too that they cheated, and so it squashes all fun, and it makes whales want to run really, really fast to another game that's server based where they can catch the cheaters. Because when you're spending money, even if you're not spending money, nobody likes a cheater except for cheaters. But for everybody else who's spending money, or even the free to play, it's like for free to play, you're like, well, it's hopeless. I can't do it because I'm playing. It's already hard enough free to play, and now I got cheaters I got to compete with. No way. So they leave, and then you get the whales that are like, I just spent $800 or $1,000, and now I'm going to lose to somebody who hasn't spent anything and is hacking the system. So it has to have some sort of a server based component, or it will be just tournaments 2.0 and it'll be trash.
Yeah. My thoughts on this is that I want it to be something different. I want it to be something, take a chance, try something out, make sure it works. That's been a problem in the past. I'll give CG props when they do a lot of good stuff, and they have done a lot of good stuff, but they have also made some mistakes. But make sure it works. But I'd love to see something different. Think outside the box, make it fun, make it something totally different. If it's something that's already in the game and it's kind of like the same thing that's in the game, I'm kind of going to be like, why? This is gonna be something I have to grind again. I don't want it to be grindy. I want it to be something fun. I want it to be something that pushes the envelope. So I'm hopeful that it's something along those lines. Mike, Remon, any thoughts on this subject or?
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with both your points. I mean, I want to see something new, and I also want to make sure or see that they don't, they have some way of policing the game. But even if they don't, I mean, ultimately, I'd still rather have new content. I mean, even if it, as far as the tournaments go, yeah, it sucks that people were cheating, and I really hate the fact that people were cheating. But and I was on a couple of servers with people that were cheating, obviously. But I mean, when I look at the alternative, which is what's going on now, where there's just no tournaments, I mean, I'd rather have the cheating and have the tournaments than not have the tournaments. Does that make any sense? I mean, I just think that it was better with the content. Even if you had your cheaters out there, they would have had they should have, instead of eliminating the game mode for all the players that enjoyed it, they should have spent the time to fix it and try to come up with some way to police it.
Yeah.
Even if that means hiring somebody to literally look at all the shards and see, look for inconsistencies. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're talking about a game that, besides that tournament, really had nothing new in terms of content for
For a
for
while.
PvP for a long time. So I mean, like, I was looking at some old videos that I made, and I had a Gear 11 Rex over a year ago. I mean, we haven't even moved up in gears for over a year now. So I mean, again, and I'm not crying for a level cap increase or more gear or anything like that. I mean, believe me, I'm fine where I'm at, but I'm saying content wise, yeah. If it's going to be something like a guild versus guild, great. Again, if you have cheaters, try to figure out a way to police that, but don't just like shut it down because you have cheaters. Fix it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and if you have another mode, I mean, there's other ways you can do. There's more content you can create besides interactive content that still would be a lot of fun. And I've
Yeah.
mentioned this many times. I mean, I've said that you can do a some sort of a gauntlet mode where it just like you use your whole roster until it's done. You do it once a week, and the further you get along in the gauntlet mode, the better rewards you get. And you could just go through your entire roster till you literally use your last man, and resets every Sunday. Something like that. Or you could do a co-op PvP in some way if that was possible. Maybe we could just giving us the ability to type in an ally code and face anybody that you want would be a great addition too. Just a separate section where if I want to fight warrior, I can anytime. You know what I'm saying? And that would be cool also. If I just got to type in his ally code, I can fight him, or I can fight anybody on my ally list. That would be cool too. I could have fun with that for months. So we could create our own little mini tournaments inside Discord. We could have fun with it. But that kind of stuff, just two simple fixes like that or two simple additions like that would add a lot of longevity to the game. But if like I said, if we're just going back to guild versus guild, if they're going to create some sort of a competitive tournament for guilds versus another guild, they have to figure out a way to make it fair and also police it. Even if that means, like I said, hiring manpower to actually police it, individually.
Yep.
That's just my opinion.
That's a great opinion. I think Darth Bella's back. Are you back?
No, I think she's still out.
Well, can't say I didn't try.
Remon, I want to add to your
Go for it.
Discord arena fun. We need to start a fantasy betting site out of that, and we need to get on top of that. That would be pretty fun.
All right.
I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Let's see. I've lost completely who is next. We'll go to Mike. This is from Jeffrey Corman. Do you think Chaze is still worth farming with all the recent changes to them and the meta, especially when you're on a shard where everyone runs 7-star Chazes and the time it takes to farm them? What are your thoughts, Mr. Mike?
I would still say yes. Yeah, that the amount that's already been invested, there's a slight nerfing now with, like you say, the exchange of abilities when one goes being removed. However, they're going to be there. No, I would continue your farming program on them.
I agree. They're still pretty viable. I mean, yeah, it's a slight little nerf, but they're still really potent. I agree with you, buddy. All right,
guys, my
well, look who it is.
Really, bad. The free Wi-Fi is not working. I drop out all the time, so I think I just stop for now because it's really not working. I just have trouble.
That's okay, Bella. We're going to get you with we're going to get you with Grande. He's going to teach you how to steal government Wi-Fi, and you'll be okay.
Oh yes, that's a good plan.
It's a very good plan. That's why I mentioned it.
Yeah,
But no, we understand.
looking forward to it. Have a
Yeah.
great time and see you next week.
Okay. All right, Miss Bella.
Bye.
Bye. All right.
Bye, Bella.
All right. Let's see. The last question was Mike. Remon. Uh, no, that was already. We just answered that question. So let me go to the next one. What's the proper way to mod Savage? For you, Remon. Did we lose Remon too? What is going on here? What is happening?
He's muted.
No, he's there. He's just on mute.
Okay. Good lord. All right. Jesus. All right. Sir Loki, to you. How would you mod Savage, please, sir?
Leader, and if you pick Zol, then Savage would be good if you can load him up with speed, and the reason being is because he can steal the other debuffs from the other Sith allies.
Yeah.
At the end of his turn, and then when he gets hit, then he gets a lot of turn meter and all that stuff. But I would do speed, and you could throw maybe a tenacity. It'd be like a speed set with you could throw like offense secondaries or speed secondaries or whatever speed the third stat, right? So, and then the other two, I would do like a tenacity, a tenacity cross or something like that, or something, so he has a chance to resist those debuffs as well that that he's going to try to get at. So, but if you run him in a Nihilus lead, then you have to load up on the triangle. You can't run the crit damage or the critical chance. So you really only have protection under Nihilus lead. I would actually run the protection because the percentages are higher since his protection gets converted to health. So if you run the 23 and change percentage protection primaries with with speed secondaries or like offense or something like that, then I think he'd be good.
Okay, very nice. All right, hope that answers your question. Let's see here. Back to Warrior. This comes from Logan Smith. On a Wigs-Chaze arena team, who should be in the 5th slot? Rex, Nihilus, or Palpatine?
All of those are good. I guess that question is answered by who are you facing? It depends on who you're facing. And my first inclination was Jin, and that wasn't even a choice. So,
I know.
no, I don't. I think Darth Nihilus on any team is a good 5th slot. You could have Wedge lead, or you could have Emperor Palpatine in a Wedge lead and have Emperor Palpatine in that 5th slot. I think you could go any direction on that that you want. But honestly, Jin lead with Wedge and Biggs and Chert and Bays are amazing, especially
Yeah,
if
they're
you
so
have her
good.
Zeta where she can't be stunned. But Emperor Palpatine is always a great character to shove in, from the mass stuns that he can do to the shock debuff is absolutely amazing. His ability to heal himself, he's an excellent character to put in. And then on a side note, back on Savage, I actually I've never done speed on my Savage, and I've never done tenacity on my Savage. I focused on, under a Nihilus lead, on offense, 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 and then under a Darth Maul lead, I actually did crit chance, crit damage, and I focused on offense and speed secondaries. For that, he was only ever at about 170 speed, but he gets so much turn meter and he gets cleansed every single time he gets critically hit that it's not a big deal for tenacity, because he'll get the debuffs regardless, because he takes them, so he's going to always have debuffs, but he'll cleanse automatically without a tenacity check through being critically hit. So tenacity is not even a thing that he even needs at all. It's really not. And then and I only know that because I've ran him. It just doesn't even matter. I think my tenacity is at 18%, and it just doesn't matter. He's my biggest pain in the butt when people fight me. They say that he just lasts forever. But on that team that he asked, I would probably do Emperor Palpatine.
That's right. I am the Senate. All right. Let's see. The next one is for Mike. This is from Simon Hurst. I think this is our last question for the day. I think we've been going for an hour and 40 something minutes. I think that's pretty good. Once we get a last minute question, we'll make this one the last one. And this, I think it'll be for the panel, but we'll go with you first, Mike. Simon Hurst asks, do you think it's best to save ally points for a future update or spend them? What do you think, Mike?
Personally, I'm saving them.
And why are you saving them?
Partly because my forefinger said, you ain't pressing that button that many times to get rid of them. I don't have a great Lego collection, so that's off the.
So it's laziness.
Partly, and the other part is just the last time they said this, they then launched something which required them. And they're in the game. You get them still. They give them with so many different things that there's got to be another utilization of them. And I'd rather have more than enough than think, I need to start collecting these again.
There you go. Well, Loki, what are your thoughts on that?
For me personally, I'm saving mine because I don't trust what the devs or whoever say anymore, because they already, as Mike mentioned, they said in the past that you won't be using them anymore, and then all of a sudden they magically appeared again for tournaments, and they were in the Galactic War Source. So who knows what they can do with them. I personally don't need anything from the Bronzonium packs, so but if you need stuff, I mean, it's a good place to get. I think you can get a fully crafted Carbonti in there, so I would say if you do need stuff out of the bronze packs, go for it. And if you need shards to convert in the shard shop, I say go for it. But keep in mind that CG already messed with us in the past, and they could do it again. So
yeah,
I'm saving mine personally.
Okay, and finally, Warrior, what is your thoughts on this subject?
Well, I made a video on doing them. I had over 500,000. I had about 650,000, and I spent a good portion of 4 hours opening them all. And it was an absolute nightmare. But I opened them, and I got about 8,000 extra currency in the shard shop or whatever. So for that, and then I did get actually a couple of purple gear. I got a Mark III Carbonti, which I needed, and some other stuff. I actually normally wouldn't trust the company and say, yeah, there's something coming. I actually don't think there's anything coming anytime in the next 12 months or greater, because they actually reduced the amount you get per day significantly. They removed some of the ally points as benefits from some of the things that you do daily. You used to get from your daily 5,000, a big chunk, right off every single day for completion. That went away. You still earn about 6,000 to 8,000 a day, but that's chump change. It really, and for entry level and mid game players, the stuff you get in, there's fully unlocked characters. There's shards that you can convert or get your characters up. There's lots of low level gear, and every once in a while some high level gear. And I really just don't think there's anything significant. Plus, this is the other thing. They've led us all to believe that they're not going to be used. I believe if they ever did come back with something, let's just pretend that in 4 months they come back with a tournament that requires them. A couple of things. One, they would notify us pretty quickly, in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, so we could start going into horde mode then. Two, they would create a way for us to purchase them like they did last time, which then you could convert your Galactic War into those tokens. And three, I think they would limit the amount of how much you can use in the tournament. Like you can only have so many refreshes or whatnot, to kind of make it more fair for those who were behind the curve or didn't know or spent them all. I think they would create some sort of a handicap. And so someone would have, what will happen is someone will have 1.2 million and they'll only get to use 250,000. and they'll get to be just as competitive as me. And so I'm not worried about it. And now at this point that I've spent them, I'm like crazy OCD about, spending them every day and making sure I get it down to below 250.
Gotcha. All right. So I hope that answers your question. That is all the questions for today, which was quite a lot, but we got through all of them. Yay! So what we like to do at the end of this is we like to let everybody pimp their stuff. So we're just going to go, and it's no particular order, just throwing it out there. Warrior, where could folks check you out?
So I have a YouTube channel called Warrior Presents, and I present a lot of information. I do in-depth roster reviews for my patrons that are great. I have a lot of free-to-play as well as pay-to-play accounts that are reviewed. They're very specific. I give a lot of heroic AAT tank raid advice in there. So if you want to look at their roster and see how am I suggesting Rancor, how am I suggesting the hat raid for them, it might really speak to you. I also have a number of in-depth character reviews and arena battles, and I kind of cover everything, a little bit of everything. I'm a jack of all trades with that. So yeah, check me out on YouTube.
Awesome. And go to Mike next. Mike, where can everybody check you out at?
Okay, first and foremost, I just wanted to pay my respects. I honestly didn't know the player myself, Elron B, but he unexpectedly passed away. He's from the Ewoking Squirrely guilds. And I just wanted to just acknowledge that here and send love to his family and friends. And yeah, that's awful.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, definitely. I have a channel. It's called Mike Hunt. It's up there on the screen. I play the game. It's more of a vlog than anything else. However, I'm currently working with Virtual Gaming World, and we're looking at doing some collaborations, some mic reviews on characters.
Wow.
So the acknowledgement will be, there's figures there. Go look at them, sort of thing. And then Mike Smash is kind of going to be the review, I think, how good they are at smashing.
Nice. Very nice. So check that out. And then Sir Loki himself.
I got a YouTube channel, so it's my name, Sir Loki, SIRLOKI. You can click on my handle in the YouTube chat, or just do a search on YouTube. But I do mostly doing a lot of arena battles. So it's if you want to check out how like Nihilus lead or like even Zeta still hangs with the top 10 meta, you can check out my channel. And then I'm also doing a lot of phase 3 comps. So right now it's the Tebow lead with Jin and Chaze and TIE Fighter Pilot is going to be would be my latest runs. You can check those out. But just helping a lot of in our little group we have a little alliance of guilds, and just helping them out get heroic tank ready and having fun with that. And I'm also on a Ranger show, so the Reality Skewed Gamers on Wednesdays, and we have fun on that. We talk about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes as well. As always, thank you for having me on, and I appreciate it.
All right. And then since they had to get off, I'll pimp. Now, Darth Bella doesn't have a channel as of yet, but I know you can check her on Discord and Fear the Boot. She's in there a lot. She's also in the, I think, what is it? The Star Wars Galaxy Heroes Barracks. She's in there as well. So you can check her out there. And she's in our RSG Discord. So if you have questions, she loves ship questions. So you can check her out there. And then Remon, his guys have a stream.
I'm here.
Oh, he's back.
I'm here.
Oh, well then pimp your stuff, my friend. Tell everybody what's going on.
I apologize about that. Yeah, I had to step away for a second, but definitely, appreciate you, bringing back the show and having me on. Thank you very much for that. And I have a YouTube channel. You can click on the link in the description. of this video, it'll bring you to my channel, and you can check out my videos. I have videos on character reviews, game update notes. I do occasionally put out arena trial videos and things like that, and just general banter sometimes about what I feel about the game and new packs that came out or just the status of the game at the moment. And we also have a weekly live show on my channel for the Alliance, and that's typically on Fridays at 8:30. Although that may be changing. We're going to be doing a live show tonight, actually, at 8:30. So check that out. We're going to be doing it 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. I know that kind of conflicts with other people's shows, so I don't know. We're going to pick another day to do it. That kind of works for everybody because the timing just seems to be tough on Friday nights. So I'll definitely make sure to announce that. But next week, we're also going to be having an interview with. So you're going to want to check that out, and I'll make a video during the week on my channel giving you the details as to when you can check that out. I'm also part of the Game Changers program with Warrior and Smithy, and we occasionally get access to content a little bit in advance, and we're able to put out content for you guys to show you when new characters like R2D2 or General Kenobi come out, what you can expect. So, again, thanks Ranger for having me.
Absolutely, brother. And then finally, for us, we are Reality Skewed Gamers. This is the channel you're on right now. We are your streamers of streamers. We stream every Wednesday night. We cover the latest Star Wars Galaxy of Hero news. We have all these great guests and stuff on. We really get in depth about a lot of things, answer questions. Someone asked if we're doing the stream tonight. We are not doing the stream tonight. We probably will not be doing Saturday Night Live stream like we used to because we've taken over doing this. This is a big project, so we've decided that our focus will be on this for right now. But you can let us know in the comments if you would like us to do some streams on Saturday. We can't do it every Saturday night, but I think maybe once a month, maybe we'll get all these crazy guys together. We'll have another drunk session like we did the other day where we had a blast with the guys from the podcast on where we were doing a review for May the 4th. So maybe we'll do that. But let us know in the comment section for this. What do you guys think of the show? Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We also have videos out about different parts of the aspects of the heroic AT raid for all the different teams. We also have different videos out for other games we're playing and broadcasting right now. But yeah, we stream mainly on this channel and we put videos out. We stream lots of other games, so check it out and let us know what you think. For the Jedi Academy, let us know what you like, what you don't like. If you want to give us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs up. We always appreciate that. If you want to give us a thumb down, great. We still want to know why. What can we do to do better? So that's all you have to do. So on behalf of myself, and of course, I want to give a big, huge shout out to Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman, for helping put all this together and for being a troll in the chat. He was really going at it today, guys. I don't know if you saw, but oh my god. But yeah, Finn put all the gifts that you see up on the screen together and did all that stuff. So he's a madman behind the scenes. So we want to make sure he gets his props. And of course, shout out to Grande, who couldn't be here. But we will definitely try to get him back in here. And along with Smithy D, hopefully their schedules with their families and stuff calms down a little bit and we can get them back on here. So I think that's it for us today. So on behalf of myself, Warrior, Sir Loki, Mike, Remont, Bella, Grande, Finn, and of course our friend Smithy D, we want to thank you for joining us and we will see you guys next time. So check out everybody's content. The links are below. Please support these channels, support the community. And we will check you guys out next time. Thanks.